The atmosphere around Lincoln Financial Field is electric as the Eagles prepare to face the Niners this Sunday. Fans are buzzing with anticipation, and the team itself is charged with intensity that can only come from a matchup steeped in history and rivalry. Every detail matters in games like this, where a single injury, a return, or a tactical adjustment can swing momentum in an instant. Inside the Eagles' locker room, energy is high, focus is sharp, and the sense that something big is about to happen hangs in the air. The city is ready, and so is the team. One of the most significant developments leading into this clash is Lane Johnson's return to practice. Weeks have passed since he last took the field, and the Eagles have felt his absence deeply. His last game was in Week 11 against Detroit, after an injury sustained against Green Bay. And since then, the team has adjusted, adapted, and learned to manage without their cornerstone right tackle, yet nothing compares to having Johnson back. A player whose presence transcends the numbers and brings stability, confidence, and leadership to every play. His return is more than just a boost to the offensive line, it is a revival of the team's identity and rhythm. Before his injury, Johnson was performing at an elite level, a Pro Bowl caliber player dominating in pass protection and allowing virtually no pressures. His impact extends beyond statistics. It shapes the offense, instills confidence in the quarterback, and opens lanes for the running game. The Eagles' record when he is on the field is telling. Victories outnumber losses by a clear margin, reflecting the way his presence influences not just the mechanics of the game, but the morale and cohesion of the entire unit. Returning to practice has been a test of perseverance, and seeing him back in action is a signal to the team and fans alike that Philadelphia is ready to compete at full strength. The Eagles' coaching staff and teammates have made adjustments in his absence, but the difference is unmistakable, while replacement players have filled in admirably. Johnson's leadership on the line, consistency, and ability to read defenses create an edge that cannot be replicated. This matchup against the Niners makes his return even more critical, as San Francisco's defensive struggles this season present opportunities for a team with its right tackle healthy and confident. On the flip side, the Niners are dealing with their own challenges, particularly in their defensive front. The absence of key pass rushers has diminished their ability to generate pressure consistently, leaving openings that a disciplined and experienced offensive line can exploit. On defense, the Eagles are poised to make an impact as well. Jalen Carter has returned to practice, restoring a disruptive force in the interior line, capable of rallying the quarterback and controlling gaps against the run, alongside edge rushers like Nolan Smith and Jix Hunt. Philadelphia's front seven has the potential to dominate the line of scrimmage and dictate the flow of the game. The combination of speed, strength, and technique creates a scenario where the Niners will have to navigate pressure from multiple angles, testing their depth and resilience against a fully healthy opponent. The tactical battle between Kyle Shanahan and Vic Fangio adds another layer of intrigue to the matchup. Shanahan's creative offensive schemes will be tested against Fangio's disciplined, situationally aware defense. The Niners' offensive line, already weakened by injuries, may struggle to maintain integrity against a team that has honed its coordination and tempo. Carter's interior pressure could disrupt the timing and rhythm of the backfield, while the Eagles' linebackers, including Kobe Dean and Cooper Dean, will be key in containing Christian McCaffrey, whose versatility makes him one of the most dangerous offensive weapons in the league. Lane Johnson's return on the offensive line complements these defensive strengths, giving the Eagles a rare alignment of talent on both sides of the ball. With the right tackle position secure, Jalen Hurts can operate with more time, making reads and executing plays with confidence. The combination of a reinforced defensive line and a dominant front seven positions Philadelphia to control the tempo, exploit mismatches, and take advantage of San Francisco's injuries. The Niners' challenges are compounded by absences in key positions, including Trent Williams at left tackle and primary receiving threats, leaving gaps that a prepared and balanced Eagles team can target effectively. The Eagles' offensive strategy will likely emphasize balance and tempo, combining a strong running game with calculated passing opportunities. The return of Lane Johnson provides stability for inside and edge runs, allowing backs to attack gaps with confidence while maintaining options for play-action passes. Hurts' mobility and ability to read defenses will be enhanced by this stability, giving Philadelphia the tools to dictate the pace and create scoring opportunities. Even against a team with Shanahan's offensive creativity, every block, every read, and every adjustment becomes magnified when key players return. reinforcing the importance of cohesion and preparation in high-stakes games like this. Defensively, Philadelphia's front seven is ready to disrupt the Niners' offensive flow from the first snap. Carter's interior dominance, paired with edge pressure from Smith and Hunt, creates a scenario where McCaffrey's effectiveness is reduced and Brock Purdy faces constant pressure. Kobe Dean's instincts against both the run and pass provide another layer of coverage, while Cooper Dean's assignments against tight ends and receivers will be crucial in limiting big plays. Jalen Phillips' ability to create turnovers and pressure quarterbacks adds yet another dimension, giving Fangio flexibility to adjust and create mismatches in real time. San Francisco's offensive woes, exacerbated by injuries, leave them vulnerable to the Eagles' coordinated attack. The absence of Trent Williams undermines both pass protection and run schemes, leaving Purdy exposed and limiting McCaffrey's opportunities. Any misstep along the line can be exploited, creating negative plays and forcing Shanahan to adapt under pressure. Meanwhile, Philadelphia can leverage both talent and preparation to capitalize on every weakness, turning individual advantages into team-wide dominance. The depth, versatility, and focus of the Eagles roster create an environment where preparation, execution, and timing intersect to produce a competitive edge in every phase of the game. Special teams and situational awareness also play a role in these high-stakes matchups. Injuries impact coverage, return lanes, and field position, but the Eagles have consistently shown the ability to adjust and maximize personnel. Returning players provide leadership and stability that allow the coaching staff to implement aggressive schemes, confident that key contributors can execute under pressure. The psychological factor, combined with tangible on-field advantages, contributes to a scenario where Philadelphia can control not just the line of scrimmage, but the momentum and flow of the game itself. As the Eagles fine-tune their preparation for Sunday, the focus shifts to exploiting every weakness in the Niners' defense, while maintaining discipline on both sides of the ball. San Francisco has been forced into a patchwork lineup due to injuries, and Philadelphia's coaching staff has spent countless hours analyzing tendencies, identifying vulnerabilities, and designing schemes that maximize their personnel advantage. Every linebacker drop, defensive alignment, and blitz package is calculated to create pressure and confusion, while the offense aims to sustain drives, control the clock, and wear down the opposition. The synergy between the units is more critical than ever in a matchup where a single mistake can shift momentum dramatically. The Eagles' passing game has grown into a major weapon this season, and with Lane Johnson anchoring the right tackle spot, Hurts can operate with increased poise and timing. The offensive line's restored strength allows for deeper drops, longer developing routes, and the freedom to manipulate zone coverage. Philadelphia's receivers have been sharpening their timing and exploiting tendencies in San Francisco's secondary, aiming to create separation quickly and force mismatches across the field. Hurts' mobility adds a dual threat, forcing defenders to account for the quarterback as both a runner and a passer, which could open opportunities for explosive plays if executed with precision. Running the football remains a central pillar of the Eagles' game plan, with the Niners' linebackers impacted by injuries and rotational changes. Philadelphia can exploit gaps along the interior and edges, whether it's Miles Sanders, a change of pace back, or a situational package. The Eagles are prepared to attack openings with a calculated approach, forcing the Niners to commit extra defenders and potentially creating favorable matchups in the secondary. The balance between run and pass is key, as it prevents predictability and keeps the defensive front guessing, increasing the likelihood of breakdowns and big plays. Defensively, the Eagles are poised to dominate the trenches and control the pace of the game. Jalen Carter's presence in the middle disrupts the interior run lanes, while Nolan Smith and Jix Hunt generate constant edge pressure. This combination of interior strength and outside speed allows the Eagles to collapse the pocket, alter the timing of plays, and force the quarterback into rush decisions. Christian McCaffrey, one of the most dynamic and versatile offensive players in the league, will be a primary focus, and containing him requires disciplined pursuit, gap integrity, and effective tackling. Kobe Dean's instincts against both run and pass give the Eagles flexibility, allowing him to plug gaps or blitz when the situation calls for it, further complicating the Niners' options. The secondary is positioned to capitalize on mistakes induced by pressure and strategic deception. Coverage rotations, disguised looks, and mixed zone assignments challenge the Niners' quarterbacks and receivers to make quick, accurate decisions under duress. Cooper Dean's matchups against key targets like George Kittle and Brock Purdy are particularly critical, as minimizing big plays in crucial moments can tilt momentum in Philadelphia's favor. Jalen Phillips' ability to collapse pockets, generate sacks, and force turnovers complements the pass rush, creating situations where even routine plays can turn into game-changing moments. The Eagles' defense is structured to control the tempo, frustrate the opposition, and dictate the narrative of the game from the first snap. The Niners' offensive vulnerabilities are magnified by injuries along the offensive line and at skill positions, without Trent Williams protecting the left side and key receivers limited by health. The balance and timing of San Francisco's attack is compromised. Any lapse in protection can lead to negative plays, pressure on the quarterback, and disrupted run schemes. Brock Purdy will need to adjust on the fly, but the Eagles' front is capable of exploiting these weaknesses consistently. Every sack, hurried throw, and misread increases the probability of turnovers, which could swing the game decisively in Philadelphia's favor. Special teams, often an overlooked aspect in high-profile matchups, also play a strategic role. Depth and versatility are tested under playoff conditions, and Philadelphia's coaching staff has prepared contingency plans to maximize field position and capitalize on any misstep by the Niners. The return of key contributors ensures stability and allows the Eagles to maintain consistency across punts, kicks, and coverage assignments. This layer of preparation adds subtle advantages that, in close games, can determine momentum shifts and influence scoring opportunities. The psychological edge is another critical factor. Rivalry games carry emotional weight that amplifies every play, and returning stars like Lane Johnson, Jalen Carter, and Jalen Phillips contribute more than skill. They bring leadership, confidence, and the ability to execute under pressure. The presence of these players boosts morale, reinforces discipline, and allows the coaching staff to implement aggressive strategies with assurance. Meanwhile, San Francisco faces the dual challenge of countering a motivated, healthy opponent while navigating the obstacles presented by their depleted roster. Every snap tests resilience, focus, and mental toughness, with mistakes punished immediately at this level of competition. Philadelphia's preparation has been meticulous. Coaches have emphasized tempo, alignment, and situational awareness to exploit every potential weakness in the Niners' game plan. Players have been reviewing film, identifying tendencies, and perfecting adjustments that could create critical advantages. The Eagles' ability to combine aggression with discipline will be crucial in controlling the first half and establishing momentum. Maintaining focus through every drive, every defensive series, and every special teams play is the hallmark of a team prepared to compete at the highest level in playoff conditions. FlyEaglesFly News family, smash subscribe and hit like. Your support keeps the freshest Philadelphia Eagles updates flying in. Drop your take in the comments and let's talk birds. The whisper started the moment Brandon Graham stepped away from the usual script. No press conference, no carefully worded statement, no medical jargon filtered through public relations. Just a brief moment, a quiet exchange, and 5 words that weren't supposed to leave the building. In a league obsessed with control and messaging, that small breach of protocol landed like a thunderclap inside the Eagles' orbit. According to people close to the locker room, Graham's message was not dramatic or emotional. It was simple, confident, and final. That simplicity is what made it powerful. Veterans recognized it immediately as the kind of signal that doesn't need explanation. Younger players read it as permission to believe. Coaches, publicly cautious, were privately said to be smiling. When a player with Graham's stature speaks out of turn, it's rarely accidental. It's usually intentional leadership. The speculation now is less about what was said and more about what it means. Graham has always been the emotional spine of this defense, the voice that cuts through tension and resets focus by breaking protocol. He may have been telling his teammates that the waiting is over, that whatever doubts lingered have been addressed internally, around the facility. The phrase full strength has begun to circulate again, not as a medical term, but as a state of mind. There is also a strategic layer to the rumor. Opponents prepare differently when they believe an Eagles team is unified, healthy, and emotionally charged. Even the hint that Graham feels confident enough to bend the rules sends a message beyond the locker room. It suggests urgency, readiness, and a group aligned behind a shared expectation. Nothing official has been confirmed, and no one in authority is rushing to clarify. That silence only feeds the narrative. In Philadelphia, belief has always been a force multiplier. 5 words were enough to ignite it. That's a wrap from FlyEaglesFly News. If you want the fastest Eagles updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Sound off in the comments. Let's talk birds.